This is incredibly exciting to be back live again with you for the second night. Last night we worked through the powerful teachings of raising sexual energy for your wealth of life, how to spread that throughout your being so you can actually become a beacon of light and create effortless effortless spread of light, connection, magnetism, the wonderful ability to shine your light. Hello, Bracha. Great to have you here with us. And the incredible confidence, the inner self-worth, and the breath of life that really activates that part of us that continuously allows us to shine through and to feel alive. We talked somewhat about, let me go ahead and just have some water here. We talked about how to enhance your presence and how to make it that your being becomes the type of being that's emanating the light and drawing the right people into your life. You know, when you get into that space where your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies are balanced, part of what occurs is that the universe starts to play this wonderful, beautiful dance with you. Like today, for example, I was at the by the ocean in front of this really calm ocean where it was like a swimming pool in Istanbul, where I've been traveling the world with the world tours of everything I'm doing. The virtual stuff hasn't stopped me. It's become literally a real movement physically. And a lot of wonderful, incredible dances occurred through nature with this wonderful divine masculine and feminine, with my amazing people that's in my life as this was going on. And so I saw like really incredible synchronicity every moment, right? Imagine seeing synchronicity every moment of the day, right? It just felt incredible. Now, it happens to be that we are cosmically today in a very wonderful time because we're in the full moon of Leo. And if you're listening to this video on a replay, even if you listen to it in a month or 2 months or 3 months from now, this will still apply to you. However, different time zones may have different impacts. And we're in this amazing time zone called the full moon of Leo, or in the deep ancient Hebrew Aramaic teachings, it's called Tu B'Av. This special day, it's like literally the mystical Valentine's Day, just to make it more easily understood. And what happens is when the full moon of Leo comes, it's the once in a lifetime opportunity per year where the full aspect of the sun, which represents the masculine energy, and the full aspect of the moon, which represents the feminine energy, for one day, they become synced. So you have the perfect male, female, masculine, feminine energy living in one zone for a short time, right? Now, the idea is we want to extract this beautiful, wonderful energy and live with it throughout the year. Now, every time we have perfect divine masculine feminine energy, the energies are balanced, everything is perfect, right? Everything is just wonderful. Everything just rolls, right? And the reason for this is it's like the electrical socket. When you have the plus, you have the minus, and I say this metaphor a lot, and I think it's like a lifetime metaphor we need to remember. You have the plus and the minus, and the plus and minus together, if you take the plus of electric current and the minus and hit it together, what happens is you actually get a lot of light, a huge spark, and after a second, you get a short circuit, right? Why? Because part of what happens is that if you have too much light coming together from the minus and the plus, but there's no filament, there's not something there to actually create a resistance or restriction, you end up losing the ability of creating lasting momentum and consistent light. This is why the light bulb, if you open up, break a light bulb, you'll see some phenomena in there. You'll see a plus, and a minus from electricity, but they don't actually directly touch, you'll see a filament as a restriction that doesn't allow the plus and the minus to directly touch, except for this thin little filament that allows the current of energy to slowly move through. This creates lasting light in a light bulb, and that's how you have continuous light in your house, right? So the idea is that we need to learn to work with the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy in a way that it creates the light that we want. Now, we have a major epidemic and an issue in our society, and that is that the men and women don't even know what to expect and what they can actually want from their partner, or from their husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or the person that's the divine masculine versus the person that's the divine feminine, whatever format of relationship that you have with respect to that. So I'm going to read from my book for you. It's called 42 Cease to Bend Reality, and there's a section in there where I go into Zone 2, Yesod, Bonding, Intimacy, Foundation. And yesterday we talked about how, and it's worth the review before we go into the next piece, desire is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. I'm not going to go too much into that. You can look back at yesterday's video with the raising sexual energy. But that's what we talked about, the law of sex, right? Today I want to talk to you about if you plan to be in a wonderful, loving relationship, what elements need to be in place for this to become lasting, wonderful light, okay? So the first element would be, let's face it, relationships die for 4 reasons, and this is discussed on page 304 on 42 Cease to Bend Reality. It's in my book. Relationships die for 4 reasons. One is lack of life direction, lack of fulfilling each other's love language, addiction, like a hole in a boat where everything you bring in is just being sucked out and it's just leaving, right? And that could also apply to finances, right? Every time you make more money, you just create more expenses, right? This is also another form of addiction to loss or chaos, or being attracted to chaos, right? And then finally, not joining your gifts with your purpose together, right? Those 4 elements can cause you not to be able to have a lasting relationship. So in order to really even start a good relationship, you need to attract someone in your life that you have similar values with and similar purpose. You want to head towards the same direction, right? Now, for the feminine energy, I want to invite you to expect a little bit of this from masculine energy. Once you begin to expect more of this, then you can also begin to give more from yourself of what that is. So here's some powerful aspects of the gifts you can expect from the masculine energy. A divine male is a rare and precious gift to the world. Okay, what does that mean? A divine male has integrated his heart with his genitals, right? And so not everyone has done that, but a divine male has done that, right? And uses his lingam as a wand of light and tool for healing, love, connection, and positive energy, as opposed to a weapon of destruction, okay? There's a lot of meaning and depth to this. A divine male understands the anatomy of female pleasure and delights in taking the time to bring his female partner to the peak of ecstasy over and over again through his mindful touch and skillful mastery of divine pleasuring techniques, which I teach in this program. Now, this doesn't mean that I want you to raise your expectation on your man or the masculine force and start expecting all these things. Rather, what it really means is that if you don't know what powerful capabilities the masculine energy can bring to your life, then you won't be as excited to also bring your wonderful feminine energy to your masculine energy man or partner. A divine male knows how to hold space for healing in and out of the bedroom. Okay, another aspect right there. Let's see who's here with us, by the way. Okay, good. Plenty of people here. Let's see. Okay. By the way, you can feel free to type in any questions while you're watching this so I can address it while we're on this beautiful teaching here. A divine male will share his abundant orgasmic energy with his partner, healing and activating her in this multi-orgasmic potential. A divine male meditates before this connection or point of energy into the divine female and cultivates his sexual energy to attract and magnetize more love and connection and teachings with the woman that he loves, instead of wasting that energy in all over the place, right? Now there's a YouTube video on this, which I can share with you later. So these are some powerful, unique elements of the divine masculine that the divine feminine can expect. And now the question is, how do we assist the divine feminine energy to bring out its full potential, like the title we have here, Divine Feminine Self-Actualization for Wealth and Bliss? Okay. I'm going to read one more line from the book. The law of sex says that all things shall balance themselves out if left to the forces of universal law as guidance and untampered by mind of a conscious control. Okay, you can figure that one out on your own. All forces will balance themselves out, yet forces of universal proportion, which are controlled by ideals, desire, moralities, cultures, feelings being imaged and brought into being through the male and female principles and forces. This breakdown of these polarities, wherein yes and no are being reconciled, this breakdown between male and female principles and the consciousness of entities upon this and other plane is that which shall transform the material plane into a plane of spiritual experiences whereby the mind has dominion over matter. Now, I know these are a lot of technical terms. For this to occur, the forces which have been in separation, the male and female principles, wherein there was the waiting and there was the probing and the action of dominance, wherein the male and female principles have been standing apart from the one another, as through there was a wall separating these. This has created and maintained and held the physical universe as a material reality for thousands, millions, and billions of years in certain areas of the universe. At this present time, these forces are beginning to reconcile, and that's the good news. Right now, this moment, these forces that have been held back are beginning to reconcile. For a reconciliation between male and female forces to occur, there must be that coming together, that sexual interchange between the forces, so that all feelings of differences begin to become, and listen to this, all feelings of differences, right, fragmentations, begin to become less significant. Less significant. And begin to shift, mold, and mix together in a blending of male and female forces so that the separation is no longer apparent. So it's a loss of separation. This is occurring on the human level upon this plane at this time. There are still many entities holding on to their masculine or feminine image for the significance in relationship to the opposite sex that this polarized image may give them. There's a lot of depth in these sentences that I've written here. You got to really get into it. I have a book. It's called Divine Prescription for Sex, right? And you can see the cover image here. And in Divine Prescription for Sex, I teach about 72-day program of really raising your sexual energy and activating your wealth of life for your divine feminine self-actualization, wealth and bliss. I also teach how to lose attraction to chaos, which is a really powerful piece to this. I will be inviting you towards the end of this session to go ahead and send a text to this phone number to get a special gift for Divine Feminine Self-Actualization for Wealth and Bliss. It's going to be a very beautiful VIP connection. We're going to do on a Zoom connection. And you're also going to get my excerpts and writings and a CD or MP3 download on Divine Feminine Self-Actualization for Wealth and Bliss. So to get that gift, before the end of this talk, all you have to do is text to 310-659-0128 with the words, divine feminine. That's it. And I'm going to go ahead and send it to you. I prefer you send it through WhatsApp. It's easier for me, and I can send you even more beautiful things because I have a lot of resources on there with the interaction. Everyone should really incorporate WhatsApp, and because it's, I mean, as long as it doesn't, cause you any harm, it's got such an easier way to communicate. You can communicate with words, you can communicate with text, with audio, with pictures, with videos, and it goes so fast. It's more of a live experience happening all the time. So I really invite you to join that and be with me on that. Now, let's delve in a little bit more into, I have so many people saying hello. Hi, Hussein, Ron, MJ, great to see you on here. Bracha once again, and everybody else here that, I don't know, for some reason I'm able to see some people and not see some other people. Let's delve into what does it mean, divine feminine self-actualization for wealth and bliss. All right, so let's go back to what's been occurring in the world and primarily also in America, right? About 100 years ago, or maybe 70 to 100 years ago, this the rise, cosmically there came a rise where women started to feel that there's a disempowerment and that they have issues with the masculine energy of how it's balancing itself out in their life. And so the anger that came through that of wanting to rise out of this this space of feeling possibly pushed down, or feeling like maybe wanting more energy, more power, more abilities to make things happen on the terms that they want. Part of what happened is women started to activate this force and really make great things happen and be more empowered. But unfortunately, it was at the loss of the wonderful, feminine, subtle, sensual energy, because part of what happened is that the family dynamic changed, right? That feminine, wonderful feeling of being in that sensual mode where you're available to really be in the present moment, to not to have all the pressures of constant day and night work, to be able to trust your man, to be able to possibly come through for you so you can let go and enjoy the process of an orgasmic living experience, unfortunately got lost in the process. And with that being lost, everything else went with it. With that being lost, women started to lose that sense of trust that they had in the masculine energy. Women started to lose that sense of letting go and spreading themselves and letting themselves be. And I'm going to say this in a metaphoric way, but like literally allowing your legs to relax and allowing yourself to receive, right? That whole sense got lost. And when that sense got lost, women took a more active role in the masculine energy, and this caused the universe to completely go through a major shift. Now, more than women know, women are so much more powerful and more responsible for the universe than any other force. And the reason for this is because the masculine energy, the light, cannot do anything without the vessel, which is the female feminine energy, being the great receiver or the great capacity for the light. So for example, if you're going to eat some yogurt, you're going to need a cup, right? Without the cup, the container, you have no way of measuring how much you're going to eat or holding it together. So the container, the vessel, is the feminine energy. Just like the rain is only as successful in helping the plants grow as the soil, right? Let's say the soil is the feminine energy or the vessel, right? And so as a result, by not knowing how powerful your role is as a woman in society and in mankind, and especially in relation to the masculine energy, you actually will cause yourself a lot of stress as a woman. You'll cause yourself a lot of loss. And in fact, You can cause the universe to be completely collapsed. That's how powerful you are as a woman. And we men cannot actually do much without you. We can't, right? Because the vessel must receive the light in order for it to shine through. Just like the moon must reflect the light of the sun, it's a powerful reflector, and women have this powerful reflective quality. Now, I know there are arguments that, a lot of times people misunderstand what I'm saying, and everybody goes into, oh, we're all equal, right? And this is not about equality. This really has nothing to do with equality. This talk has to do with the power that each entity is born with. It's not about comparisons. It's actually about the beauty of differences, right? And if you don't get that yet, there's growing to do. You got to kind of think about this and really grow up in this and really get what you deserve. We're asking you to have more, not less. We're asking you to get that which you deserve. We're asking you to wake up to the reality of how much wonderful orgasmic pleasure you can have in the universe by letting go, okay? By being present, by tuning into that ability. So, let's see, where did I put my water? Oh, there it is. So now let's do a little imagination exercise. I want you to imagine, and you can do this if you're a man or a woman sitting at home or in your office or wherever you are. I want you to notice when you think about feminine energy, what imagery comes to your mind? Notice the imagery that comes to you. Is it a certain color? Is it a sense? Is it a feeling? Is it a movement? Is it a certain location in your house or outside the house? Is it by a certain part of nature? What comes to your mind? Now notice how it feels when you think about feminine energy. And if you're having a hard time with it, that's okay. Don't give up. And then notice how it feels in your body, how it feels in your chest when you visualize the feminine energy. Someone just wrote, it feels like lightning bolt. Cool. Notice where you feel it in your body. Is it in your head, your heart center, your belly, your lower organs? Is it in your sacral navel? Is it in your buttocks? Is it in your knees? Is it in your toes? Is it in your tongue? Where do you feel it? And now see the color wherever you feel that. Okay, good. Now, if you want to activate more of your feminine energy, what I want you to do now is whatever you see, wherever you see and feel and sense this, go ahead and give it more color. Make it more colorful, more 3D, make it more panoramic, splash some paint onto it with the colors that you love. Again, make it more exciting and compelling. And see yourself moving, being, sensing, having that energy. You can even see yourself relaxing to receive wonderful masculine energy that connects with the core of your being. Good. You're doing really good. And now, if you want, you can visualize, feel, sense your perfect divine masculine partner sensing you, being with you, interacting with you, and focused on you with love, with laser light and love. Notice how that feels. And maybe somebody can type for me a few words here of what comes to you as you're watching. If I hear you type something, if I see something, I'll go ahead and respond with a powerful, intuitive help to you also. Good. And now notice if there's anything missing. What is it that you want more of? Notice that. And then see yourself having it, poof, fulfilled. Good. Now I'm going to read a section from the Zohar, the powerful, amazing book that was written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Somebody wrote, Ron wrote, holding my wife and seeing my newborn son. Beautiful. What a beautiful feeling. Thank you, Ron, for sharing that. I'm going to read from a section from the Zohar. I'm going to open a page just randomly, subconsciously. I want to see what comes. Now, these are the Aramaic teachings from more than 3,000 years ago, given to me from Moses, Aaron, Solomon, David, all the way down to Esther, Mordecai, as I lived through 2,000 years in the East, traveled through the world, Europe, Americas, and still traveling and being with you today. Okay, I'm going to open up to a page and read for you. And whatever it says, I'm going to read for you, and I will translate it to. This is what the reading looks like. Now, I'm unique in the way that I'm able to read these Aramaic letters that's been blessed to me through the angelic connection over the years. I cried many times for me to be able to channel through this. And I teach you from the inside of these vibrational texts because I want you to connect with the essence of the teaching from its core being from thousands of years ago, all the way back to Adam and Eve, 5,780 years ago. And it's important for you to understand that this teaching is different than all teachings because it's not a modality, although it may include some modalities. It's not just a breath work, although it includes some breath works. It's not just some Reiki healing, although it includes some Reiki healing. It's not just a teaching from hypnosis or neurolinguistic reprogramming or hands-on healing or medicine man, medicine woman. It's not just a modality learned or a license given for a year. It's a teaching of the universe since the time of creation. And I'm here to deliver that to you firsthand, untouched, authentic. Now, some of you may really enjoy that and be like, that's amazing. You can recognize the power and the difference from all the other speeches you may be hearing here. And some of you will be like, this is too good. I just can't take it, forget it, right? So the question is, where's your happiness bar, right? Where's your happiness bar? How much can you handle? How much depth and authentic teachings can you handle? And are you ready for it? If you are, then say yes to yourself. Go ahead and repeat the words yes to yourself, and this will come through to you. I'm going to read for you, and this is what came. It actually came with a portion called Ha'azinu, which means delve in deeply. This is actually interesting. This is actually the portion or the time that I was born at, so it's kind of cool. I don't know how it works, but it does. Amar Rabbi Shimon. Says Rabbi Shimon, Ad emata yikrun chavraya behane milim. Until when should the collective consciousness keep reading these words? And basically he's saying, until when are we going to read these words but not have the full impact? Hani anan batar kuchabrichu azlinan. Ha anan batar kuchabrichu azlinan. I see that I am constantly moving towards the light of the Creator. Ve'anan yad'i milin. Veha itkeli al yadan milada madela itkeli lekadmai. And he's saying that these words that he's writing is going to be revealed through me and you together in this generation that wasn't even revealed to the generation that he wrote it at 3,000 years ago. Remember, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai lived at the same time as Jesus, and he held on to these teachings that other teachers tried to reveal at that time, and since others did not understand it at that time, they considered them heretics. But here, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is saying that these teachings were meant for 3,000 years from now, which is the time we're in right now. Mikan ulhal'a kol inun milin. From here on, all these words, v'chol inun baraite, and all these oral teachings, sliku lehu le'inun de la alu v'nafki, uvenehun atyan leshala. It's going to be revealed to those that don't ascend and then exit, rather to those that have a level of consistency. Ubenaihun atyan leshala. And your students, sons, children, daughters will come to seek you out and learn from you. Vechad yishalun yamrun chavraya. And they will ask wise questions, and the collective consciousness will respond. And now he's giving us a warning. Vai ledara de Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai isteluk minei. Woe to the generation that these teachings are kept away from. Because then we'll go in the circle of confusion with the tree of good and evil, but not the tree of life reality. The tree of life reality is whole being experience. Tree of good and evil is just constantly vacillating and listening to the news and getting doubts, uncertainty, the seeds of uncertainty over and over and in that circle. And eventually death consciousness because of the reactive nature of it. Aval tachazi mikan ulhal'a, but behold, come and see. By the way, the reason there is so much war amongst so many different ideologies and religions is because 99.9% of all spiritual teachers have never actually delved in to the words of creation and creator through the authentic Hebrew Aramaic teachings. They've only listened to the corrupted translations. And they've just made up stories on top of stories on top of stories from that which was never to be the truth or the real version to begin with. That's a sure way to lose reality, touch with reality. Aval tachazi mikan ulha, come and behold and see that from now on, and we're talking about right this minute, la yehe dara kedarada, there's no generation like our generation. We're the luckiest generation if we can delve in. Vela oraita itgale al chavraya, and the light will never be revealed like this, like the collective consciousness that we have the opportunity for now. Tachazi dara batra de nafku mimitzrayim yad'u kola. Come and see that the generation that left Egypt, the Israelites at that time that left Egypt, Yad'u Kola, they knew the entire fabric of reality. You might think they were just slaves, but they weren't. They actually were at the highest consciousness possible. Yad'u Kola, Deha Moshe Galilon Kol Inun Mem Shnin Dehabu B'Madbara, because Moses revealed all the depth of the knowledge, all the download of the light, all the entire sequence of it all, 40 years in the desert, Kemad Amena, just like the certainty that was taught. Tana Ami Rabbi Yitzchak, Va'af Moshe la Galida, Ela Behahu Yoma Dehava Salik Min Alma. דכתיב בין 120 שנה אנוכי היום בהוא יומא ממש ועל כל דא לא אמר עד דיהבו לרשותה. Even Moses did not reveal, though, the full capacity of all the teachings until he was 120 years old, where he was about to depart from this dimension into the multi-dimension. On that day only did he completely reveal all his teachings to the generation and to Joshua. And on that day he asked the generation to write this particular frequency vibration song, right? This is why you can't just learn from words. It's a frequency. It's like you can't describe a song. You got to sing it, right? It's a relationship, right? Me and you, we're actually having a relationship here. You know, a lot of times I meet people in an expo and then they elevate to the next level and come with me on a journey, whether it's a retreat or a WhatsApp group where I have these VIP sessions on Zoom calls, or the exercises, 42 exercises, the 72 exercises, the 26-day exercises. And as we elevate and rise and connect, something powerful happens. And we have a relationship now. We're in a relationship, right? Where it's a relationship of growth. And that relationship can't be found in a book, right? That relationship can't be found in just a course. It's an actual energy that's being transmitted from a teacher to student, from a community consciousness. And so Moses says, Kitvu lachem et hashira zot. Go ahead and make note of this powerful frequency song, which is called Ha'azinu, right? The song is called Ha'azinu. Vechad gali, and once it was revealed, La amar Ha'azinu Yisrael, Ella Ha'azinu Hashamayim. And when it was revealed, it didn't say, "O Israelites, listen in." No. It said, Ha'azinu Hashamayim. Listen in heavenly frequencies, right? Why? Because the cosmos record everything. Amar Rabbi Yossi, says Rabbi Yossi, Ketiv et hashira. It says the words, this song, et hashira. Shira means melody or song. Vechi shira ikre. Was it really a song? In other words, wasn't it a frequency? Amar Rav Yitzchak shira vadai. Rav Yitzchak says it was absolutely something called shira, which is a level of a frequency. By the way, my daughter's name is Shira, based on this teaching. Ma shira itmashcha beruach hakodesh me'ela latata. Just like the level of frequency of something called shira, right, is transferred in the Holy Spirit, me'ela latata, from the upper realities to the lower dimensions. Uf hachi milin ilen it mashkan beruach hakodesh me'ela latata. So too, these words that Moshe is teaching, were literally descending in the Holy Spirit from the upper realm into the lower realm. Uvekinkach amar Moshe shira. Therefore, as soon as he opened his mouth to say these frequencies of the melody, the transfer of the upper world and lower world would become fast, so one in 1 second, that the realm of shira, the realm of melody, and the realm of frequency had totally become one in that reality. And it's not like that for us all the time, because for us, we live in that duality world. So a lot of times, what you think and what you want and how you want it to translate to your everyday life is so far apart. And that's the meaning of suffering, right? The meaning of suffering is wanting things, but you don't see the results instantly, and you're longing for it, and now you're attached to the desire, and you're waiting with expectation, and that creates suffering. The waiting and expectation itself is suffering. Every time you're attached to something and you can't let go, that is suffering. Every time you have suffering, you're reactive. Every time you're reactive, you're actually living in death consciousness. And every time you're in death consciousness, you're adding a little death to your life. The opposite of that is to add life by detachment, by being present. Want things, have goals, set them in motion, set it and forget it. Set it in motion, set it and forget it, live your life. Dichtiv, and we have 2-3 more minutes for this powerful divine, feminine, self-actualization, wealth of bliss. Dichtiv ha'azinu hashamayim, it says that, listen in, O heavens, shamayim. The essences, literally. Because in the Hebrew language, the words teach you the actual definition of life. Shamayim, which means heaven, or the sky, also means essence and your name and where you come from. Shamayim. Ya'arof katamar likhi, yital kazal imrati. The sentence is not fully written, but I remember it, so it's just quoting a piece. Ya'arof kamatar likhi, yizal katal imrati. Saying, let my words be like the dew, where they settle in on you little by little, but surely. And this is so powerful, such a powerful concept that I use in all my classes. This is why I have teachings where it's 42 days of action steps, 72 days, 26 days of action steps. It's better to have a little bit every day, but you do it every day and you stay on the train, because when you're on the train and you do a little every day, consistently, you are on the train. So even if you walk backwards, you're still going to the direction of the higher consciousness with the group. Right, MJ? Right, Ron? So, bracha. Moshe is teaching us that it's better to have the teachings like the dew. The dew starts to settle in on you little by little, but before you know it, you're wet. Your clothing get wet. But you don't realize it. It's just so subtle. Subtle teachings. Daily, though. Take in daily teachings. Daily connection. And so, once you have that quality, then Moshe tells us, Kishem Adonai Ekra, when you begin to call the Creator's name, the instant revelation occurs and manifests because you're on the path of self-actualization of your divine feminine and masculine energies. So once again, for those of you on the Best You conversation here together with me and the meditation here with me, I have some gifts for you. If you're already watching this on Facebook or other places, these gifts don't apply to you, but I've promised Best You some powerful gifts, so I will go ahead and give you those gifts. All you have to do is send a text to 310-659-0128, and I will go ahead and send you a portion of Divine Feminine Self-Actualization for Wealth and Bliss meditation. I will invite you to a 2-hour VIP session with me and our wonderful group. And I will also give you 10 minutes of my time. By the way, I charge $1,000 an hour to do sessions with people. I will give you 10 minutes of my time to give you a powerful self-actualization compass and direction. So that together is a $500 gift that I'm spreading your way. I want to make sure I help you as much as possible. Somebody texted me the other day, what's the catch? And it's simple. The catch is I want you to grow because it gives me pleasure, right? I need you, you need me. We need the world to ascend, okay? I'm past that point where, I'm doing this to make money. I don't need your money. I'm past that point where I'm doing this to become more influential or, have this impact or that impact. It's really about the essence of connection, right? It's really about, I won't go to sleep happy if I haven't influenced more people, knowing that my purpose in the universe is to do that, okay? And if you're hearing this and it resonates with you, then you don't take action, then you're going against your purpose. But if it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you, then leave, right? But if it does and you don't take action, then you're going against your purpose. So that's the key, that's the teaching. Again, to get the gift, just send a text through WhatsApp or regular text to 310-659-0128 from anywhere in the world. 1-310-659-0128, and I will absolutely send you those gifts. Blessings for today. Once again, my name is author Shahin, JEdian, author of 42 books and films, and creator of the first ever Kabbalistic Reiki manual all the way back to Moses and Aaron. Blessings. It's so wonderful to have you here with us. I'm really enjoying you. MJ, Ron, Hussein, so good. I love your presence, so good. It's really wonderful. Really wonderful on this full moon of Leo, Tu B'Av, spending time together like this. All right, see you soon on the VIP.